You know, I think we're all aware that lately there's been a lot of first-time gun buyers out there, and therefore I've been getting a lot of newbie questions. One question I've been getting a lot lately is, what are Moonclips? So I thought I'd take a moment here today to show people what Moonclips are, the good and the bad of Moonclips, and whether you need them or not. And first, let's show you what they actually are. Let's get one out here and let's look at it. That right there is a Moonclip, that little ring that's holding all the ammo together here. If you want to see one without ammo in it, I'll show you one here. Here it is right here, this little flat piece of metal with all these little indents in it here that hold the rounds. These are little crescent moon shaped indents, and that's why they call these Moonclips. You can get these in full Moonclips, half Moonclips, whatever, but this is what a Moonclip actually is. And as for whether they are good or not, you know, the good and the bad of them, well, it really depends on the gun. For example, if you have a 5.86 L-Comp that is chambered in an actual revolver round like a 357 Magnum, but it's cut for Moonclips, you can use the Moonclips because, for one, it does make it easier to reload. You can reload a Moonclip full of 7 rounds a lot faster, even when you're at a weird angle here filming, than you can load 7 individual rounds, so that's an advantage. Another advantage is it makes them eject a lot easier. They all eject together, nothing gets stuck in there, they all come out easily when you hit the ejector or when you just pull them out by hand, so they have some advantages. Now, there are also some disadvantages. For one, they're easily damaged. They can bend easily, they get out of shape, you know, they're just not great as far as durability goes. And if they get bent or warped, sometimes they won't load properly or they'll stop the cylinder from turning. That's a bad thing. Another bad thing about them is they are difficult to load. That's one of the reasons I don't like them. If you have cheaper ones that don't have the relief cuts, they're a little hard sometimes to load, and that gets on my nerves, and it's really just not worth it. I would rather use a speed loader for my revolver and not have to deal with Moonclips because I just don't care for loading them up. So for a gun like the 5.86 that's actually chambered in a revolver caliber and the Moonclips are just an option, I don't choose to use Moonclips. I just don't find them worth it. Now, where things get a little different is if the gun is chambered in a semi-automatic caliber like 40 Smith & Wesson. In that case, the Moonclips still have the advantages of making it easier to load. It does load a lot easier. But you'll be thinking, well, do I actually have to have them? Since this is a semi-automatic rimless caliber, will they just fall through the chamber if I don't have the Moonclips? Well, no, they will not. As you can see here, if I drop one round down in there, it goes in there just fine. And if I close the cylinder, it'll cycle. It'll fire. So the Moonclip isn't needed to fire the gun. You can actually shoot the gun without the Moonclip. Where the Moonclip is needed is when you're taking the round out of the gun. See, if we look at this gun here in 10mm, if you put a round in it and you push the ejector rod, nothing happens because it does not have a rim on that cartridge, so there's nothing for the ejector to actually catch on. So you'd have to pull, you either have to tip your gun upward and hope they didn't stick when the cartridge expanded, or you'll have to have a Moonclip on there. Whereas if you use the Moonclip, not only does it load much more easily, then it will actually eject when you're done. You can actually eject them all out of there. That's why you need a Moonclip in a semi-automatic calibered revolver. Not so it'll fire, but so you can take the old casings out once you've fired them. That's why I think Moonclips are necessary in this type of gun. If your gun is chambered in 10mm, 40, anything like that, then you're definitely going to want to use Moonclips. Not so the gun will fire, because like I said, we've already discussed that you can load the gun without the Moonclips. It'll still fire. What it won't do is eject. So if your gun is chambered, like I said, in 357 Magnum, something like that, nah, I wouldn't use Moonclips. They're more trouble than they're worth. But if your gun is chambered in a semi-automatic caliber, you're going to want to use the Moonclips, because if you go through all the rounds you have in your gun and the shooting isn't done, you're going to want to be able to quickly eject those rounds. They make loading easier. It's a lot quicker and fast. For one, you can load faster. You can load a Moonclip loaded up with 7 rounds. Make sure that they all go in together and that they all come out together, and that where the Moonclip is needed is when you're taking the round